the depths of Chicago. Live and direct. It's the Rico No Suave Show. Starring Rico No Suave. With co-host Valerie Malesio. Featuring special guests every Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rico No Suave. Ritmo.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Your boy Rico No Suave here on the 1-2-1-2, ready to go with each and every one of you guys. Welcome back to another great session with us. Yes, I am so happy, man. Today is, I want to say Cinco de Marzo, but I want to say Cinco de Mayo. Ya tu sabes, mi gente, we are back. I am super happy to be back with each and every one of you guys, man. Hopefully you guys had a great week, otra vez, and everybody that's actually tuning in, welcome to the show. And also who's welcoming to the show, put your hands together for my co-host, Valerie Malesio. What's up, Valerie?
Hey, I don't get the dance intro, but hey, I'm going to give them a little bit today. That's all right. I have a little bit of dance for you. Beautiful weather outside. It feels good outside today.
It feels really good outside. Yes,
so good. Kids are playing in the park. You hear the sounds of springtime.
Yes.
I hope the snow is over. We love you, but it's time to say goodbye to
Yes. And you know the cool thing about it is that, you know, Chicago, you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen. So,
well, with weather, hey, they know this is the Midwest. They say if you don't like the weather, stick around. You can get all seasons in one day.
Yeah.
On some days.
Yes.
But the weather is getting warmer.
Yes.
So we are looking at least optimistic that the winter time is going to be gone.
Thank God. I love Groundhog Day. That's all I got to say. All right, everybody. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to put up that poster for celebrating Women's History Month. All right, everybody. So to all of the beautiful women that's out there, yes, one of the things is about celebrating Women's History Month. Just to let you guys know that Miss Valerie Malesio will be on for the next few weeks talking about women of history, right?
Yes.
And of course, we applaud all of you beautiful women, international women that have done great things for the actual show, but also have done great things for the show for yourselves, I should say. I say for the show for myself, but for the show in general, right? For your actual talent, as well as the people that's leading up to that talent as well, too, of inspiration. So, Valerie, can't wait to see what you got coming up for the next few weeks, man, because
I'm excited.
a lot of women should definitely be tuning in for that. Yes. All right, once again, we're celebrating Women's History Month. All right, so we're going to actually do a little bit of breaking news, everyone. Of course, it's for everyone globally. So, all right. So, everybody that's actually tuning in on the radio as well, too, welcome to the show. Let's do that breaking news. This is all about everybody. You already know. It's about education, what's going on. And we're going to go right to that next one. Here we go.
Trending news. There's actually so much out there to talk about today.
This is one of the biggest things that's been going on for the last 2 years. Let me clear my throat. So The Mask, right? And we're not talking about the movie, right? We're talking about The Mask. So this has always been a thing of when are we going to ever take it off, right? When will we be able to make it feel as if, how do we feel about it? And when do we ever feel like it's going to be over, right? The mask has been one big part. I would say 98 to 99% of the world wearing masks, you know, because it's a way of feeling comfortable and feeling protected and feeling against our loved ones. So we're going to go to the next slide. Governor Pritzker, you know, he actually uplifted the mandate on February 28th here in Chicago I don't know if it was a global thing in regards to February 28th for a lot of people. I know from state by state, maybe it was different, right? I know Mississippi was different. There's Texas that was different. You know, there was different states that was actually different in regards to.
Texas had a mask mandate?
Yeah, they did, actually. They did, unfortunately. They did, but we didn't know. We thought it was over when it started, when the pandemic was on. But one of the things is that Governor Prisco on February 28th said, hey, we're going to uplift the mask mandate. I don't have a picture of Dr. Ezike, but I really love, and Dr. Adwadi, right? Mm-hmm. Both of the doctors itself really handled themselves throughout the pandemic. And it was beautiful because it was women that was actually leading this whole thing, right?
She's awesome.
Yeah. I have to say, because she also spoke English and Spanish.
She did.
I really love that. And that basically tells you in regards to the talent that someone actually has to reach different cultures. But through this pandemic, a lot of people that I've heard had nothing but great things to say about that team. But also, it was more of, I feel comfortable when she gets on the mic to be able to talk about certain things. And of course, you already have the people that don't like, wearing a mask, but also because of this pandemic have killed a lot of loved ones. And it's a eerie thing to really talk about, right? When it comes to that. But one eerie thing that wasn't really, it was always a battle, was the mask. The mask was always saying, hey, when can I breathe again, right? When can I not breathe when I ate cheeseburgers and hot dogs and fries and, had a little bit of pollito, a little bit of something that I just kept putting on my mask when I have to go outside, or I have to go after, like if I go to a restaurant, hey, man, that cheeseburger was really good. Okay, I'm going to keep it with me for a long time until I get home, brush my teeth, right? And what happens is that they say what you breathe out, you want to breathe it out in the air so it can disintegrate, so it can actually say this the bacteria's normal life. But then when you breathe it back in, that becomes a problem with your health, which is true, because a lot of people that may have lung issues or asthma and things like that, that becomes a problem with some of the people in my friends that actually has that issue.
Do you have asthma or lung issues?
I did. I had bronchitis.
I know that you've been against this whole mask thing.
It's
been a struggle with you.
So bronchitis kind of runs in my family, right? Bronchitis runs in the family. Okay. And what happens is that when you have this mask and you're breathing in and breathing out, it depends on what mask that you're actually wearing. So that's the reason why I use the cotton mask that you actually have there to make it easier. Yeah, and it's breathable, right? Mm-hmm. And you tend to get used to it and realize that, man, I'm kind of used to wearing this mask after a while. But then your body tells you, like, listen, bro, you have to breathe, right? Because you got the mask on. You come in the house and you forget that you actually have the mask on. And you continue to walk around the house and you still got the mask on, and you wind up passing out. Be like, listen, somebody call 911. Right?
That's my 6-year-old right there. Right. She's at home trying to have conversations with masks, and I'm like, honey, take the mask off.
So, the last one is very important because, ya tu sabe, man, the mask is still mandated per restaurant, per business, and people still say, you're seeing it. We keep it, right?
Yeah. So I've been out and I've seen people are still wearing masks.
Yes.
I mean, I still wear a mask when I do, grocery shopping, but I feel like now we're kind of picking and choosing.
Yes.
So whereas maybe I won't wear it to go to this restaurant to eat.
Yes.
But I'll wear it if I need to run into Walgreens or, to the store.
Yes.
Where it's going to be congested and a lot of people.
Yes.
So I feel like there's a lot of people that kind of took the information.
Yep.
And they're still using it.
Yes.
Even though it's lifted, they're, not slinging that mask, tossing it out the window. They're keeping it in their purses or in their pockets and using them strategically.
The one thing, and that's the cool thing about it is because now what I do is I still have my mask in my pocket just in case if I have to walk out and I have to say, hey, I got to check the sign to see if the sign is there, if I can wear a mask or not. But man, when I don't see the sign there anymore, I'm like, woo, let me go and smile at everybody, right? Let me go and smile at your face, like, listen, man, check out the Colgates. Check out the Colgates.
Right? I will still, I had to run into a Walmart the other day.
Yeah.
And because I did put my mask on. I don't care if they said I didn't need
it
or not.
And that's where I was going.
There was a lot of people there, and
yep.
I just felt like, I don't want to be breathing in people's space, and I don't need them breathing in my space. And it's just a kind of a respectful thing, so.
And I think it's going to take some time.
It's comfort level.
Yeah, it's a comfort
If it's
level.
within your comfort. When I I was at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
And I was in an area, and I didn't want to wear my mask at that section, but I asked the people that were right there,
Yes.
are you okay if I take my mask off?
Yes.
So I think it's just being courteous and mindful. Mindful. That's the key word today. Mindful.
It's right. Ding, 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 ding. The word today is mindful. Pee Wee Herman. Right. So one of the things about it, I'm not going to dread this out because we have a very special guest here with us today. I'm so loving it. So with the mask itself, I think it's time for it's going to be a who, vaccinated, unvaccinated, wears a mask, don't wear a mask, confusion, right? Meaning that we don't know who's unvaccinated, but we don't know, like, I guess the people that is unvaccinated that don't wear it, like myself, that's confident to go out there and do what I was doing before. I've always been a social butterfly, right? I've always been a social bug where, I love to talk to people and I love to actually say hello to people and things like that. But I think I will have to tell you, I went to Jewel Osco, just in case, people around the world don't know what Jewel Osco is. It's kind of like, for you guys, some area, Piggly Wiggly, right? And other places, right? So there is, it's a supermercado, right? It's a grocery store. And here in Chicago, and you have no idea how many smiling faces you see with people not wearing a mask anymore. And it's nice.
It's nice. I mean, I broke out from the mask.
Yes.
So I understand the irritation and the frustration with them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if it keeps us safe and it's comfort level, I'll take the hit.
Right.
Because I'll go ahead and do it if it's safety issues. So again, option to mask and not to mask. Some people have very strong feelings behind it.
That is the question.
With the mandate lifted, it does give those choices. But I will say, if you do see somebody with a mask on, stop giving them a hard time about wearing them.
And vice versa, though.
That's insane.
Vice versa.
Why are you so mad about someone wearing a mask? People all up in your business. Why are you wearing a mask? Why does it bother you?
Right. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Leave it alone. Even if it's vice versa, too. Vice versa. I walked in the elevator, and I'm going to let this go. I walked into the elevator. I walked in the elevator, and everybody had their mask on. I was like this. Good morning, people. I was like, good morning, sunshines. Good to see you. Glad you got your mask on, right? And I was loving it, though. I love it because I respect everyone, right? I respect everyone's. And one of the things is that, it's...
As long as you know what all you needed to do was just ask them what floor they were on. And start a conversation.
Right.
Maybe they were weird about you because you were just smiling there and not saying nothing.
Right. I think for the most part, when it comes to wearing a mask, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for everyone, right? It's a good thing for just making sure that if you sneeze or anything like that. My parents always told me, when I sneeze, you sneeze away, you sneeze in your arm. Mm-hmm. That's the way you sneeze. You don't sneeze in front of people. Achoo, right? Because then you start fights. Oh, absolutely. Right? You start fights that way, and people start looking at you.
It's rude. I teach my kids that all the time. He's like, why you?
But then, people used to do that. They used to walk past you and sneeze on you and throw water like they actually sneeze. Let me get off this subject, man. Well, let's bring it back to me. All right, everybody, that was the mask mandate. All right, so I have a beautiful young lady that's here with us today, everyone. And man, this lady is a bundle of joy. I have to say, her being able to be a producer, an actress, a writer, can't forget about that, and a director.
Yes.
Right? This young lady, of course, went to Columbia College, yes, and she has a new movie coming up called Hindsight. I got to give a big shout out to Troy Pryor from Cypher. Create a Cypher? Create a Cypher. My guy. Yeah, Create a Cypher. Right. I want to say the Cypher like BET, but Create a Cypher. My man Troy Pryor actually introduced me to this young lady, man, and I was so happy to actually have her here. I want you guys to stand right up, grab a book, act like it's a script, sit back down, and actually try to remember some of the words, because you already know we have in the house. Her name is Kimberly Michelle Vaughn.
Thank you for having me. me.
So I got to put up that profile.
Oh,
picture. I got to put up that profile picture.
Look at that.
Picture is
Woo!
that picture right there just shows exactly who you are.
The woman on fire.
All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
What a way to kick off, Women's History Month. I mean, it's still women empowerment.
Yes.
You're here, you're with us, but hey, you're a woman and you got a whole bullet list of accomplishments.
Yeah,
Right.
Thank you.
Love that.
So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good.
Man.
I'm gonna get used to this.
There you go. There you go.
I'm good.
There you go. There you go.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
We're excited to have you.
You know
here.
what? So let's get right into it. You know what? Any shout outs you want to give out to anybody that's out there?
Oh my God. Do we got time?
No, just a few.
Well, shout out to my husband, Freddie. He's in the studio. That's my love. To my mom, my dad, my sister Kristen, Candace, Christina, my brother Eldridge.
Yes, sir.
My nieces and my nephew, just one nephew, and definitely my brother-in-laws and everyone on the crew and on the cast of Hindsight, and Troy, of course, for this opportunity. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
yes.
So let's get right into it. We want to say big shout outs to everybody. Everybody's saying hello to you. My man DJ Kuko's checking in.
Yeah.
We have Rhonda Stremel from Fort Worth, Texas.
Hey,
checking in. What's
Texas.
up? We got my man Rico Aviar is checking in. He said hard to breathe with the mask. It's brief with the F, bro. And then Jewel Osco. Tino Malesio is checking in. He said Albertsons. Yes. And yes, we turned up the mic on Val. Hopefully that works out. And then Violetta's checking in. Hello there. Patty Chula is checking in.
Hey,
John
Patty.
Judge, John Allegretti's checking in. Everybody's checking in with us. Thank you guys so
Yes,
much. Don't
thank
forget to
you,
share this
thank
video,
you.
everybody. Let's get it on. So let's talk about how you began to you want to get into acting. So tell us that story in regards to why you wanted to become an actress.
I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to see myself and play and perform. That's really it.
I love that. That is the most honest answer. I just wanted to be famous and be on TV.
Yes,
So when did
I
that
love
start? How old were you when that started?
My mom tells me, I think, when did The Bodyguard come out with Whitney Houston?
Wow.
Because she'd be like,
80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 80s. In
Oh,
the 80s.
Yeah.
I was not around then.
Oh, okay.
But
She told you about it, huh? Okay.
But I saw it maybe later on, I don't know, TNT. And oh my God, I want to do this. I remember just being a child and looking at the screen and being like, and I, singing along. And yeah, my mom always knew that this is what I wanted to do. And she put me in that direction. So definitely a big shout out to her. And going to Columbia College.
Yes.
She found that for me. I was like, ooh, I'll just go there for dance. I can't dance. I was like, you know what? I like to sing. I want to try that. I can't sing. But yes, and then I took an improv class with Joe Janes,
Okay.
who was a teacher at Second City, and that's how he got me into more of an improv and comedy and the trajectory that I've been doing right now.
Love
Be
that.
right now, yes.
So you were determined. You're like, I don't know what capacity I'm going to be on TV.
Yes.
But I'm going to be on TV.
Yes, exactly. But now when I see myself, I'm like, girl, shut up. I'm like, oh my God. I'm working through it. We're in therapy. Yeah.
You know what? Being an actress or being an actor in general takes a lot of personality changes, right? But it also takes a lot of courage in regards to remembering your lines. That's one thing about that. Remembering your lines, that you can't freestyle it at all. I don't know if you can freestyle it, but
they teach
I'm
you
sure,
tricks, to kind of remember things.
Yeah. So how did you get into, understanding your scripts or, understanding tips and tricks in regards to getting better with becoming an actress?
Ooh, that's great. Honestly, you can freestyle.
Okay.
You can improvise. You can, and I believe that makes you a better actor.
Okay.
Definitely learning the foundations of being an actor, like Meisner,
Yes.
And other stuff, other techniques, but definitely knowing that, okay, I'm not necessarily just playing the lines, I'm playing the character.
Yeah.
And that's what improv is about. So, if this character says what once, it's like, how do you feel as the character? I'd be like, what are you serious? You can
Right.
emote more, you can say more than what is just on the page.
When
and I
you-
think directors directors, a good director, in my opinion, will respect that.
Right. They say that Jack Nicholson was big on going off script.
True.
That he would just be that character and then he would just run lines and then they would like, that was great, we'll keep it.
But, but look who he's talking about.
I know.
I mean, like, who wouldn't want to be like that, right? I mean, that's like, and we're movie buffs too. So.
Also, white men get away with that, right? It's like, that's a C. That's amazing. Whereas sometimes with women, they're like, shut up.
Right. You're like, guy, do what you're told.
Yes. Right. Be the ingenue. You need him. Like, and
that is such a great perspective.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
It is amazing perspective.
No, but seriously, it's just like, okay, yeah, they can get away with more, but we're seeing changes for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm happy about that.
So, during the time, of course, you said you weren't born in the 80s and the 90s and when you start talking about, of course, big shout out to mama, right? Big shout out to mama,
yeah.
right?
Mama knew.
Shout out to mama, right?
Mama
So
knows.
when it came to you actually, like, I think independent films, that Columbia College does a lot of those, right? So what was your first independent film that you actually did, if you remember?
Yes.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh. These are not the questions you gave me. We are freestyling for sure.
We're going off script a little bit.
Yes. I forget the name.
Sure.
But I remember the experience.
Okay.
And I remember just, like, I couldn't believe they picked me, and I was so excited. It was cold. It was raining. I had to be in a Wonder Woman costume, so I was like naked.
Oh, wow.
She's like,
Okay.
It's very tight fitted.
Very tight fitting, yes. And I had to kiss someone.
Oh, wow.
And I am the most awkward person when it comes to like kissing, especially on camera.
Yeah.
I'm just like, so that was like, okay, you got to do more. And I remember, like, in that moment, sometimes directors don't put things in the script that they want their ingenue to do.
Okay.
And I remember finding my voice early on being like, oh no, that's not in the script. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Okay.
So that's not going to happen. So that's like one of the biggest takeaways from that experience doing it. I mean, it was such a great opportunity. It taught me a lot. Learning lines, kissing, and getting used to seeing myself on camera. But definitely, like, just, we don't have to do everything that's in the script if we're not comfortable with it.
That's cool.
Can I ask a question too? Before we move
do
on?
your thing.
Because I know you're going to move on from this.
Yes, Ellie.
About kissing.
Who?
Do they teach you, like, to do a dramatic style kiss?
No, I was like, are we doing tongue? No tongue? Okay.
They're like, girl, you're not eating gummy bears, okay? Like,
I will say,
pudding pops.
I can kiss. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to kiss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't want to. Yeah, it was just. I was so awkward. I
can imagine. That was the question I was going to ask. We were on the same page with that because I've always wondered because when you look at TV and you see people kiss and all of a sudden you say they told you to kiss the bottom lip or the top lip and just like I don't know if they tell you to suck on the lip or they kiss the lip or whatever. But sometimes people say like you were saying like you improvise and I think. Some of them look like they really wanted to get up with each other.
Yeah.
And,
you were really thinking about me last night, huh?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That kissing last night had me feeling a certain way. I had to put on some Prince.
Had me thinking about pudding pops.
Right? So, big shout out to Iris Reds checking in. She said, hey, I love... hello to Kimberly. She said, hello, boo.
Hey, Iris.
Yeah. We got Justin Sawyer, the activist, checking in as well, too. He said, hello, everybody. He's in a building. All right. So, with that being said, we talking. If everybody's just tuning in right now, we just got off the subject about kissing and what lip we use. Right. So,
yes.
Let me clear my throat. I'm choked up. So one of the things about, acting is being in front of the camera. One thing that I really love, and this is why we love this show. I just saw the show, the movie Ricardo's, where I Love Lucy.
Oh, don't ruin it for me yet. I haven't had a chance.
That's okay. It's a good movie.
I want to see it. I do. I got only past the first, 20 minutes and I got distracted with kids. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for telling us that. Okay, so
I only got 20 minutes. Don't spoil it for me.
Okay. No, so one of the things about the movie is how they actually put their lines together and freestyle, right? Because they're saying, I don't really want that, right? And it happens a lot within movies, right? I'm not spoiling for you, Valerie, but it's more of being able to become that good actor and actress, but at the same time, too, to be able to have a live audience to talk to your audience before you get started makes you feel comfortable. When you actually did the movie and you actually sat down, was there an audience that was actually watching the movie with you, your first independent film, or any type of film that you actually have, in your career?
Yes. I have been to some screenings, and sitting down with the audience, it does help. Like, it does make it feel good where you're like, oh, I did great work. But to be honest, I'm in my head the whole time.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I could have done something differently. Or like, that's the shot they chose. Okay. Or I'm concerned about my face, my facial features. And that's, honestly, I do blame the patriarchy. I do blame beauty standards and all of that. But it is exciting when you do have an audience there watching, and it feels like an accomplishment. And I will say to that movie, what is it, Meeting the Ricardos?
Yeah, the Ricardos. Meeting
yes.
the Ricardos.
It was so amazing. I don't mean to give you spoilers, but seeing Lucille Ball being the actor, but also a writer and a director.
Yes.
And knowing what she wanted. And that's where I'm like, that's how we need to be.
Yes.
People assume that as an actor or as an actress that you need to just be silent and just play what's on the lines. But it's like, no, you can also direct too, because you're the character.
That's right.
So you see how the character fits as well. And it's just collaboration with the director as well.
She's such a powerful woman.
Yes.
She's just an entity in that environment.
Absolutely.
I grew up watching her. Like,
Yes.
I've watched everything she did. I love Lucille Ball.
Yes,
and I've
Lucille
watched
Ball.
the documentaries about them. But this particular film I have not seen yet. So I do know their dynamic. And it's really interesting how, they were kind of at war at sometimes and then having to be on camera.
Yes.
So, it's interesting how they had to, combine, personal issues and still stay face and perform.
Yeah, I was in a movie once, and I was in a movie once, and
What movie?
it was called The Connect, and it didn't connect. It didn't connect with me, but it did connect.
It had a great premiere, though.
It was a good premiere.
The premiere was awesome.
Was the bomb, right? They called me back. You know what I mean? They called me back, and I wanted to keep it a surprise, but
you were in another movie.
I was just in that one. That's all I remember.
You did another where you were doing a dance lesson.
Oh yes, that was it was kind of like a She Gotta Have It, but it was like
he was in another
actually,
one.
Yeah, big shout out to my cousin, mi primo Simeon. He actually had me teach a class. But the thing about what you're talking about, the screening piece, because me and Valerie hosted that event, right?
Okay.
And it was more of feeling when you actually watch yourself on there. You ever saw Bowfinger?
No.
You never seen Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy? And no? Okay, you got to watch that movie.
Okay.
It was like me having braces looking at the movie like this. I was like, oh my God, when is my part coming up, right? And then when your part comes up, you're like, man, I can't believe I did that, right? I can't believe it was like that.
Yeah.
As an actress, I can understand as far as where you're coming from because you're so critical, or you have criticism that's towards yourself in regards to that. Do you consider yourself as a perfectionist?
Yes.
Good answer. Good answer. Yes. Somebody said in the comments that you were on Chicago Med.
I was on
Yeah.
Chicago Med. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's heavy drama, but the cast and even the director, they're so much fun. They even let me improvise. We could not use it.
Oh, wow.
But because he was like, it's different. It's tonally different from the show.
Yeah.
But he was just like, that was so much fun. Just like a break from just the heavy drama.
Yes.
And I just really appreciate that. That I got the chance to do that.
So you met the stars and all that?
I did.
It was great. It was Black Girl Magic at the end.
Eso.
It was all of us together, and we're like, we got to take a photo.
That's hot.
It was so sweet. Like, it was
Yeah.
really nice.
How cool is that?
You know what? It's just you had this aura about you with being an actress, and I'm gonna pull up. We have some of your photos too,
no.
like some of your other photos that we do have that you sent me, of course, out of out of permission, right? This photo here, is when people look at you, they look at as, okay, I mean business in this photo.
Yes, that's
right?
what I wanted.
Yes. Let's go to the next one. There's another photo. This one here is let loose.
Yes.
Right?
This
let's let
is
loose.
so like living single era. Like that's what was that what you were going for?
Yes.
I love this picture. I just want to see Queen Latifah come out.
Also had the color in living color too.
Exactly.
In living color
That era,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So, being able to see you like this these are the things that brightens up people's days, to be able to say, hey, we want you to have an audition with us, because for whatever role that they want you to play in, by looking at that, the bomb, right? The
thank
bomb.
you.
We got another one, don't we? We got another one. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer Lopez, right?
Yes!
So check me out, Jenny. So Jenny on the block is here, right? So check me out. So you can definitely tell.
She's definitely giving face on that picture.
Oh man, that Jennifer Lopez all day, right? All day. Hey, and hey, everybody in the comments go crazy. I know you are, right? You guys let us know what you think, because this right here, right, just tells that not only do you mean business, but then when you actually go with this photo, it's almost as if you need to be, and no disrespect to any retail stores, but Target, when I go to Target and I see the models there, bingo. I look at that because you're actually showing off the designer, right? You're just showing off some great clothes, and also it's showing like, hey, what you looking at? You should be looking over here, right? Get this clothing right here. and that's what I saw when I saw that. And I
So
saw
you would have
bought
bought that top just off of this picture,
I'm
right?
straight, but I'm good on that. But I'm good on that. But
Girl, I would have bought it.
I would have been like, hey man, check out that picture. That is so cool. I know her. She was on my show, right? But those pictures that you actually have, I think that's all we have on that one, right? Okay, let's bring it back to the screen. Let's bring us back up.
Those are great photos.
Thank you. Well,
Those
can I
are
give a
great
shout out
pictures.
First,
Do
the
your
first
thing.
photo was by photographer Ian McLaren.
Ian McLaren. All right.
Yes. And then the rest, the catalog of the fun, bright photos were by Elias Rios.
Elias
Yes.
Rio.
Elias.
Papa.
He
Okay.
definitely captured your essence in those photos,
Thank you.
because they are fun. You did do the serious pose, but you've got such personality,
Yeah.
and you captured
Yes.
personality on film, and that's kind of hard sometimes.
Yes.
To actually capture the feeling, you
Yes.
know. So
That's
great.
a beautiful thing. And I had to display these photos because these photos is an image of you, right? In regards to who you are and what you do. Let's get on to the next one. Primo, yes, we hear you, Primo. I know you here. Yeah, I know you love Skippy too. I love Skippy too. So everybody, make sure you go ahead and ask questions. If you have questions for Kimberly Michelle Vaughn, keep saying that. Kimberly Michelle Vaughn. Make sure you guys please let us know.
Remember
Here
that
is-
name.
Yes.
You saw her here.
That's right. You saw her here. All right. Hindsight.
Yes.
Let's
Hindsight.
talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. So it is an anthology series, a satirical drama. But right now I'm filming the proof of concept.
Okay.
So we start production the 18th through the 20th. Cast and crew's already set. I'm so excited. But the product really is about how going back in time in previous events, like 2020,
Okay.
how we weren't really having conversations, right? We had masks. We were definitely either blue or red. We were pro-cops, Black Lives. And I wanted to show that through the lens of not only just humans that are not that are not cops or just regular human beings on the street in Chicago, in America, and how they're going to sit down and have these conversations about what their views are regarding Black lives versus blue lives, regarding whether you are here for fries or you like meat. So I will just say this: it's a short film that is a social experiment, and four strangers are sitting down, and producers are basically the media, and they are manipulating the whole situation, and they are forced to have this conversation of how they feel about a cop coming in that is actually a stripper. I know we talked about something different when we last talked.
Sure.
So that's why you're probably like, what is she talking about?
Sure.
So
Concepts changed a little bit. It's all right.
It has changed completely. From what okay, so I'll go back because I'm worried about time. But originally what I had was, a cop comes into a convenience store and then he is judged by a right-wing convenience store owner that is conservative, and then also a liberal a white liberal social media influencer. That was 29 pages. We could not film that in 4 days, right? So all we had was a budget that we could deal with and the resources that we had. So I had to rewrite the whole script. So that's why it's still like something I'm still trying to get the pitch correctly. So this is great that we're having this conversation.
Yes.
So right now it is a 10-pager. So 29 pages going down to 10 pages. And I got rid of some of my actors because of the budget. So I had to go down to 4 actors and then add in a 5th one who's playing Huey. Whew,
that sounds like a great concept, though.
No, it is a lot, but
I like it.
I wish I would have actually prepared more for this. So
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good.
I apologize.
No
Continue,
worries. It sounds
continue.
like you had to pivot,
Yeah.
and what you did, I'm thinking to myself like, you did all that,
Right.
Oh my goodness, we need to
Right.
get you a cape. Where's her cape at?
No, but I'll say, I had to go down, but I'm so glad I did it. And I'm so glad because it helped with sticking to my brand, especially as a suburban black girl productions.
Right.
We are unconventional. We are unboxed. So I'll just go through this. The cast, Riri, Camille, Marisol, and Girl Wonder Bread, they're all women. And I kind of wanted to just like hide that, but they're 4 strangers because sometimes when we say we're women, we don't assume it's going to be funny.
Right.
So they're 4 strangers, and producers are like, hey, y'all got to sit down. Y'all agreed to do this experiment. Cool. We're going to have you in this house. And they're manipulating the situation through and through. The producers are. And towards the end, we see it escalate once a cop comes in. However, 2 of the actors or 2 of the characters believe he's a stripper. So then you have this this misconception of assumption, right?
Right.
How we perceive cops, how we are around cops, how do we see a black person or a brown person in a cop uniform? So just talking about how difficult that was to even have those conversations in 2020. And not only are you seeing 2 black women and then also a Latina woman who have different opposing views, political views, and cultural ideologies, regardless whether they are both black. So we have Riri. She is a liberal conservative because she is a black woman with a high-paying job. We have Camille, who is very liberal, even close to adjacent as like a hotep, right? She's very proactive when it comes to being radical, the radical left. And then we have Marisol, Latina, who is a right-wing conservative, because her child was in the army. So having that perspective, and then having Girl Wonder Bread, she is a liberal, but she is also blackfishing, right? So she mostly sees eye to eye with Riri. That's the blackness she wants to be, rather than Camille, who is very like proactive, right? So we're just seeing the dynamics of these 4 characters, and I haven't really come down with like a solid pitch of how it is, because it is a proof of concept of what I'd really like to do for the bigger picture. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
I'm wondering, how did you?
It's deep.
It must. How was
deep.
that process like when you were deciding who these characters were going to be? Because you could have picked so many different versions of those 4 women.
Yes. Well, the main heart of it is what got me to even create this piece is because I just felt like, what the hell is going on with strippers?
It's a big market.
During 2020, what is going on with strippers? I was in a writing class and I was like, oh, what would it be like during 2020, a stripper that is wearing a cop uniform and they are black or brown and they're going and walking around, and then how are people perceiving that? What are they being treated? You're looking at me crazy.
I'm trying to think.
Tell me what you're
I'm thinking about when you're talking about. So, ladies, hold on your seat on this one. So, if a stripper,
Yes.
which is common for a lady to actually see for a bachelorette party or just a birthday party and say, "Girl, I'm gonna get you a stripper. We're gonna have a great time," and automatically you think about a costume of police officer.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Firefighter
firefighter.
as well too. Firefighter as well too. Anything in law enforcement, right? So the concept, as far as what I'm thinking, is if a guy is actually walking around, he has a police. Say if he's going to his next job, right,
Yes.
and he's a stripper. 9 times out of 10, if he's not in the police car, squad car, and if he's just walking and saying he's going to take the CTA or take the train to somewhere, and people look at him, they're gonna perceive him as a police officer. But it depends on how deep they go into looking at what he has with his costume. If he doesn't have a gun, if he doesn't have a badge, if they don't look that far deep into it, you never know. But the pandemic probably brought out a lot of sexy people, right? In regards to going into other one's homes where you really couldn't go out as much and you had to order, like we do DoorDash and Grubhub, right? To order a stripper to actually come into someone else's house to be able to celebrate their birthday or a bachelorette party, or to be able to have their wedding like they have their wedding in the whatchamacallit. That's a common thing, because remember, a lot of things start coming out and during the pandemic.
Yes.
Where it was more either virtually, or you really only had to say it was only up to 5 people in someone's house.
Yeah.
So with to be able to have that concept of confusion from a man's standpoint, it's like, well, look at the big picture. Look at the hindsight you're talking about of, is he really a cop or is he really a stripper? But you can't really take that during a protesting standpoint.
Exactly. So walking out post George Floyd's murder,
Yep.
you're going to be wearing a cop uniform. It's like read the room,
Right.
Right.
Especially even as a stripper, where it's like you could have been a firefighter,
Right.
You could have worn Chippendales,
Right.
So that was that was what I was trying to go for, or that's what I had originally in the pilot, the 29-page pilot, and how it's deeper than just the uniform. Regardless whether he walked into that convenience store wearing a cop uniform or a hoodie and a sweatshirt, his life would have been threatened.
Right.
And just having other people that are not necessarily, that are just human beings, you know what I mean? Just normal people off the street that are just witnessing and making their own assumptions, regardless what end of the political spectrum they are in.
True.
And that's
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm picturing all this as you're speaking.
Yes.
So I mean, like, so what I'm hearing you say is that the idea is coming from, you don't know who this man is, you just know what you see.
Yes, and even with these 4 strangers,
Okay.
you don't know who they are. You just know what you see, and then also just because they are a certain race, just because they come from a certain background, you expect them to believe certain things,
Right.
or have the same customs as you do.
Right.
Even though we're all in this same house called America, and we're
Right.
just trying to figure everything out.
Well, I mean, it's great because those 4 people and their character descriptions, I feel like I've met, those people before.
Yes,
And
yes.
I feel like I've had conversations with, and a lot of times there are some that just won't have the discussion. But when you're forced in a situation to have the discussion,
Yes.
it could be very surprising what you hear.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that project for you. I can't wait for it to be finished.
Oh my God.
For some weird reason, I wanted Valerie. I thought Valerie was about to say something else that we were going to be on the same page with, but I was looking forward to understanding what your view standpoint from a woman's standpoint of what would you have thought if you saw a police officer or you didn't know he was a stripper walk into a convenience store. Would you think that he's actually a police officer? Would you be hindsighted, right? I think from my standpoint that if I saw a guy walking in with a uniform like that, I have to say, like, first of all, does he have the mirror glasses on? Does he actually have a gun? Does he have, whatchamacallit? Because that's the first thing I see if I see a cop, because a lot of my friends are cops, police officers. And I make sure I look at them and I'm saying, okay, if he got a gun, if he has a badge, okay, he's cool, right?
I have to kind of agree with what you were saying. I don't think a lot of people put that much thought into it.
I don't think so.
No.
When they walk in, either you are the type of person that just doesn't want to be in a vicinity of
Right.
a cop, and you just want to go mind your own bit, whatever's going on, I just don't want to be a part of it. And you just want to mind your own business. Or maybe you're also a badge holder, or you have family that's cop and you feel
Right.
comfortable and you
Right.
want to say hello. Hey, how's
Right.
your day?
Right.
You know what I mean? So people just have different views of how they feel when they're around an environment where police enforcement is there.
Right.
They don't always know how to respond.
Right.
Some people might just run. I mean, I'm not trying to worry about whether you are or not. I see a uniform, I'm gone.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, that's a really good point, because that's basically how Black Lives Matter actually perceived cops.
But you can't say that, though.
No.
Because there are a lot of people that perceive it that way.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They perceive it that way where they run away, I'm talking about. So let me clarify this. What I mean by, because of George Floyd and because of a lot of cops cops in general, I'm not talking about black or brown cops, I'm talking about cops in general. I'm talking about NWA. I'm talking about where you have different aspects of music that promote F the police, right? Where in the head of cops, you look at it from a standpoint of how do you go about not really thinking about that if you have a friend that's a cop, right? And when you're running away from cops in general, it's more of what you've seen bad cops do versus good cops do, where it's the media, right, that actually put this in front of, and you hear it over and over and over again. And that's where people get brainwashed. Right. And they run away.
I see that perspective, but how do you know that this person's responding that way based on what the media has provided? Right. How do you know it's not personal experience?
That's what that goes too. Yes.
It's not fair to say you're only believing what the media is feeding you. You don't know what that person's gone through.
That's correct.
Not everybody's at liberty to go and say, hey, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. People aren't going to come out and speak against cops. Yeah. So they might have saw some things growing up, and just dealt with it. Yeah. And now there's that rooted seed that, you know what, I'm not friends with you, I'm not enemies with you. I just really don't care to be around you. So if I see a cop around, I'm going to go this way. You know what I mean? So people, that experience. They're based off personal experience. Now, I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. Sure. You do have those kind of, media front running people who would just gobble up anything that's said, and I'm just going to believe this because it's in my face every day. Type scenario. So I do understand where you're coming to. All I'm saying is, we can't assume that's
for everyone.
Everybody.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I definitely.
That's where I have an issue with that with people,
and it also comes from even some of my family members got looked at a different way from non-black and brown cops and discriminated. Yes, right. So you automatically have that that perception. Oh man, let me just go the other way. Right. And had that experience, like you're saying, that it comes from that. But what, of course, I'm talking about, of course, the bigger picture of what we've seen in 2020 in regards to what the media has shown in regards to people that have passed away and why people would want to actually move away from that. Right. So I'm with you on that.
It's going to be an interesting conversation,
man, though. We can go 2 hours.
And that's not,
So we do have a comment. So Tino, big shout out to Tito Malesio. He says, as a musician, I find myself watching and listening to recordings to see where myself or my band can improve and what we did well. We were talking about how we screen, like the screening piece. Yeah. A lot of artists do not like to see the finished product, even if they're alone. The question comes to you, Kimberly. Does Kimberly watch a lot of her videos, or is she too critical?
I do watch a lot of my videos. I do watch it. And I'm mostly proud of, or I can sit through the ones that are funny. The ones I'm like, oh, okay, that was good.
You're like
that was funny. But when they're dramatic, I'm like, girl, oh my gosh, I'm very critical. But I even big stuff where it's melodramatic, not even either it's drama or comedy. I'm just very critical. And I know a lot of actors are like that. They're like, I don't want to see myself.
I've read that. I've read that too with actors and actors. Some don't even like to watch themselves.
It's hard, man.
The finished product.
It's hard. It's hard to even when I'm teaching a salsa class, I kind of look at myself and like, man, I need to lose weight. My stomach is out there like that.
That's why the editors.
And you're like, man, you looking good and sexy, and all of a sudden they show you with your belly. I'm like, too much carne asada, pescado, y todo, papá. I gotta let the tortillas. I gotta leave alone.
Yes. Right?
That's why they say editors don't let the people come. They don't get them involved.
Yeah,
because they'll never get anything done.
No. You feel liberated when you're there, but then when you watch the finished product, sometimes you're just like, oh, I did too much. You know, like, man,
Or like you said, really, you're going to use that photo or that shot?
Yes. But what's great, even now, with 2020, the things that came out of it is like Zoom and self-tapes from home. So watching myself, you're directing, so I get to see everything. That's why it takes longer to really send out or submit some of my stuff, because I'm like, oh, I want to do it this way, because they are very critical about how you look, you know?
So,
you don't want to end up a meme.
Tino,
Exactly,
not to cut that short just a little bit, but Tino also said, although I'm not fond of the CPD as a whole, I feel bad for the foot soldiers of CPD because they have to deal with the history of corruption every day. They put on that uniform, even though they were not a part of it. And yes, that's a good point, because it's, we do feel bad about the foot soldiers, but we know that those soldiers that's out there is there that has a job to protect us as civilians.
But they make it rough.
But
they make it rough.
Who?
I mean, because CPD does have they've got a bad reputation. So now that the cops that are trying to do good and trying to implement change, they're taking the heat for that. They're like, whoa, I didn't do that.
Yes.
I am all about my badge, or I'm trying to make change.
Yes.
They're here trying to clean up a mess that they really had nothing to do with creating, man. So it's rough.
And that's hard with the whole corruption piece. And the
it's a fraternity.
Yes.
And you need to dismantle it.
Good point.
Right.
So that's
Very
honestly
good point.
how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, writing this and trying to have everyone's perspective, my perspective is I really feel like there needs to be major changes with policing.
Yeah.
And especially with Black and brown folks.
Absolutely.
It's just... But I always think about, like, as a Black or brown officer, what is going on through your head?
Yeah.
Have you been brainwashed? Have you been conditioned to believing, like, no, I'm doing good, but it's like, what happened to George Floyd is just so unnecessary.
That's true. Yes,
what happened to Breonna Taylor, like,
Yep.
and Ahmaud Arbery, I know that wasn't with policing, but, like, those were vigilantes.
Correct.
Who thought that they could help. They thought they were helping the police. It's just sad.
Yeah.
There need to be change.
Come on.
Change, baby.
All right, one last question that I have for you. So, do you have any favorite directors that you would love to see in person or even work with?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
loaded question.
Yes, that is. That's a very loaded question. But I did a freestyle.
Okay.
This one. So I wrote down my top 5 favorite films. So starting from 5 is Friday. Second one is Clueless.
All right.
Third one is Yesterday, not the Yesterday movie about the Beatles, but it's the Zulu movie. And then also Pariah, and then A Bronx Tale is number 1.
Oh, I love Bronx Tale too.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I would
Great
love
picks.
to work with all of them, all those directors, because they captured, and they even wrote all of these. That's what I found out.
Awesome.
A lot of them have written, not F. Gary Gray for Friday, but a lot of them have written what they created. But I would love to work with them because I feel like a lot of their work resonates with my life.
All right. Yeah.
I'm so glad that it's ironic you said Clueless, because when he was talking about the Target picture, that's what I thought. I'm like, she kind of reminds me of one of the Clueless girls in that shot. And he had, the Target picture with the bow?
No. Oh,
that one with the bow on the screen when he was talking about Target. Yes. And I love that movie.
Yes, it's so
such a cute. It's a cute movie. Yeah,
it is.
All right, so I have something for you.
Oh my gosh,
it's a shirt. It's a shirt. It's a shirt that you can probably show model for us. You know what I mean? Because you are a model.
Not a Target.
Yeah, right. You have to do it now. I was just joking. Okay. This is you can show. Send me a picture later. Send us a picture later. But this shirt represents who you are as a person. This bright, this how can I say, this uplifting person, the inspiration, the joy that you actually bring as far as to the camera, to people, but also you're a person that actually brings the truth of what you feel that the world should know about, but how you feel to be able to hit that industry of film and just market everything that you think that is actually possible to make this world better, right? this shirt actually represents as far as you as a person. That big shout out to Troy Pryor, Creative Cypher, right, for actually bringing you here to us for us to be able to recognize your talent. So welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
Hey,
All I'm gonna say is keep rocking that girl power, girl.
please do.
Thank you. I
Please
will.
do.
Keep
You
on
too.
doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
So, with we got to get out of here.
Aw.
We had a great time. We had a blast with you. And of course, we're going to do this again because we're going to have you back.
Yeah.
If not this year, we'll have you back next year.
Yes, a
We
check-in,
definitely want to make
update.
sure to see exactly, your movies. Make sure that whenever you have the series and all of that stuff, we're going to put up your social media. So, yes, there it is. So, Hindsight _the series. That is where you could find her on Instagram. So make sure everybody, you please go out there and check her out. And of course, you have the Suburban BLVCK Girl Productions, right? So make sure you please go ahead
Love
and
that.
follow her on Instagram. Here is a website. We want to keep that up for a little bit. So it's Suburban BLVK Girl Productions .media, right? .media, right? So I practiced that. Yeah, so I want to make sure that you guys go to that website, get all of the information, follow her, man, support her as well too. And then let's go to the last one. Here's the last one. LinkedIn. Yes, at Kimberly Michelle Vaughn. Follow her on the professional level and professional level only. So make sure you guys check her out there as well. We do have a Facebook user that was Primo Cruz. He said, Chaz, I want to say Palmitieri did an off-Broadway one-man show with the Bronx Tale. Yes. So thank you so much, Primo.
Can we put her title up one more time?
Put her title?
Oh,
Look at that.
Yes.
Actress, producer, director, and writer. Girl,
Let's get it on, man. Let's get it on.
I love it.
I'm so happy that we're part of your journey.
yes.
And this is much love coming from us to you. And so thankful that whatever yet you're doing, man, keep doing what you do.
Absolutely.
Man. We
Rico.
love that,
Thank you, Valerie.
And one of the things is, before we get out of here is, we already know what you're going to do as far as making the world better is because you're with the movies itself. That's gonna tell everything, and you're a writer as well too. So if you ever come out with a book, let us know, right? Let us know as well too. We'll be the first ones to buy it and also promote it as well too. So
And the docuseries on how you created this short film.
that's right.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, docuseries. Make sure you here as part of that. Too,
Right.
Yes.
I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you.
No, seriously. Where's the download link?
So once again, everybody, we're going to actually put our social media up so you guys can actually continue to follow us on our social media. So make sure you continue to follow us at RicoNoSuaveShow.com. That's where you find all of our information. All right, is the next one. So Instagram, yes, do it right now. Rico No Suave Show. That is where you'll find us on Instagram. And our Facebook, Rico No Suave Show, everybody. Rico No Suave Show is where you find us. Like.
Love.
All day and every day. That's what she said. YouTubers, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please make sure you subscribe there. And last but not least, we're on Mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. So please make sure you follow us there. I want everybody, once again, put your hands together for none other than Kimberly Michelle Vaughn. Thank you for being on the show. Yes.
Doing big
Thanks
things.
for having me.
All right, we got to get out of here, everybody. Yes. So thank you guys so much for being here on the show with us today with my co-host Valerie Malesio. We had a great time with each and every one of you guys. And thank you so much. For being a part of it. Oh, so Primo wants us to ask a question. Thank you, Primo. Do you like Skippy peanut butter?
No.
No? Okay. All right, cool.
Wait. Why?
I'm just asking.
We still love you.
We love you still.
It's fine.
We love Skippy. We love Skippy here.
Is it like organic?
It could be.
I'm sure there's a version
I'm
of
sure
it.
there's a version. Yeah, they following the trend somewhere.
Right. There's the all
We
natural.
still love you though.
Skippy
That's
does
okay.
have the all
We still
natural.
love-
They do. Remember, they do have the all natural.
Yeah,
So
we do.
Okay, I'll do that.
You'll do that?
I'll do that.
we'll take it.
Well, we
Good
want to
answer.
thank you guys so much for being on the show with us today, everybody. Yes, don't forget next week, man. Next week we have a man coming in. His name is Enrique Kings from the show Power. He's coming on the show, as well as Chicago Fire as well. So he'll be on the show, another actor ready to tell his journey as well. But thank you guys so much for all of the love. Don't forget to continue to support us and share all of our information. Tell the world about the Rico No Suave show, because we're always taking it to the next level. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. And thank you so much as we end off the show just like this.